So Chantal's not feeling well. That's never happened before, so I think we should really discuss it. A special thanks to my patrons, Acrophobe Christina, Courtney EP, Gigi Wee, Wild Rose, Jam Beans, Jay Thomas, Lauren Chris, Michael B. Petty, That British Unicorn, Sky Andropolis, Sonia P, Xanthal, Debbie Elliott, D. Higgins, Juliet Q, and Kate O. Let's jump into the weekly Chantal video. You guys already know all my spiel. Sorry I'm late. I'm trying to do these, once a week, but life has a way of getting in the way. So this week you guys will probably get the second half of my weekly Chantal, which is, the 2 previous weeks. I'm just going to stick them into like 2 separate videos. This is the last one I'll be filming in my home. I'm gone for a little bit. The other one might be filmed somewhere on the road. So depending on what's happening, it might be an audio only, or I don't know. Let's see. But this is a pretty long video. It's late at night and I want to go to bed at some point. Sorry if I look like a greasy chicken. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so the first video that she has posted, it's a live. Most of Chantal's videos nowadays tend to be lives. So I'm just going to go through it. As you guys know, I don't watch all of it all the way through if it's like a very long live. This one I watched a good portion of it, but I did skip through a little bit. So I will just talk about the stuff that I have seen. If I missed something, sorry, do let me know and I can always go back and address it in a separate video.
I'm just having breakfast. I'm gonna have some oatmeal because today is day 1 of eating things. Oh yeah, I love coconut. This has no added sugar. That are gonna heal my tummy. And my booga. I'm still doing a video today. I just wanted to come live and hang out with my virtual friends, I guess.
So she's having oatmeal in this video, and she adds coconut and she adds maple syrup to it. Now, here's the thing. Maple syrup is actually good for her liver. There's some evidence suggesting that it could be beneficial to the liver as compared to like with regular sugar or other sweeteners. And adding coconut adds a little bit of fat to oatmeal. Oatmeal has a lot of fiber. All in all, the only thing this meal really lacks is some protein. I think, as far as that goes, it's a pretty balanced meal. The issue here is that it's not a good meal for her. She is diabetic and she has no gallbladder, which means that she should keep her fat to a minimum. Now, I don't know how much coconut she added in there, so if it's just a little bit, it's probably not a big deal. But if she's added a lot of it, it could add up to her not feeling really great after eating this. Same thing with eating oatmeal. Oatmeal has a lot of fiber, but oatmeal also has a lot of carbs. Normally, for somebody who wasn't diabetic, this would be a fine meal to have. For someone who is diabetic, this is maybe not the best meal to have. That said, this is like miles ahead of anything that she eats on a regular basis. So if she's eating oatmeal every day, then fine. I'm happy. I'm so thrilled, even if she's putting like 3 tablespoons of maple syrup in there.
But the doctor at the ER told me they saw more inflammation, and there was inflammation like in my blood test around my bowels. So to eat things like with the recurring C. diff and things to eat, I have to like rebuild my gut microbiome, or at least try. And I have to eat a lot of fiber. So, because fiber rebuilds your gut microbiome. So I have to eat a lot of fiber things. So oatmeal is like really high in fiber. Beans, and it has to be like lean stuff because of my fatty liver and no gallbladder. So I have to eat a lot of lean foods, very clean foods, which honestly, I'm not having a hard time with right now because of the infection. I haven't been really hungry. Like,
what she ideally needs to be eating is lean, fiber-rich foods. So I'm talking salads and like lean proteins, right? Or even just like something with like a little bit of healthy fat. So think your salmons, think, a burrito with like just a little bit of guacamole, something like that, right? So like healthy fats a little bit, and then having lean meats, lean proteins, and then vegetables. Not to say that she can't ever eat anything that has carbohydrates in it, or that it's like bad, like never ever she'll like die if she takes one bite out of like, I don't know, a cookie or something. but she should try and limit it as much as possible, especially while she's trying to lose weight. Insulin resistance can make it more difficult to lose weight as it is. So once you get down to a little bit more manageable place in terms of your diabetes and your weight, then you can maybe indulge a little bit more. Right now is maybe not the time, but this also comes at the cost of her eating disorder and food addiction, which I fully believe that she has. She has an ED. She has food addiction, which is why, once more, she needs to talk to a therapist, someone who will look at all of her issues comprehensively and work with her to come up with an eating plan, not just someone who's going to be like, well, intuitively eat even though it might kill your liver, right? Therapist needs to talk to doctor, who needs to talk to a physical therapist, maybe, who needs to talk to a dietitian, maybe, and all of them together need to come up with an eating and exercise, not just eating, but and exercise plan for her.
Because my blood work was a lot better. Like, they didn't see that an infection had spread. They did a CT to see if I had any, like, to see what was going on with the mass. And it showed like edema. So it's like a skin infection. That whole, like my fupa, it's like double in size. It's so weird. It feels like a bowling ball between my legs.
So she has edema, according to the doctor. We already know at this point how that's turned out. She had to have a little thing in her stomach drained, and it's still draining, and it isn't healing very, very well. Skin fold infections become a lot more common the heavier that you get. Now, for you and I, it's pretty easy to clean all of our folds, right? You might forget to wash behind your knees and behind your ears every once in a while, but those areas are not going to stay damp for a very prolonged period of time, and you're not going to have continuous chafing, rubbing, all of those issues there. But for somebody who is 400 pounds like Chantal is, and like almost 600 pounds like Amber is, all of those folds are like stuck together, and it can be hard to even access them given, you know, the shape that you have, right? For Chantal, her belly hangs very, very low. So it's actually hard for her to like reach under there and clean it and dry it properly. So it doesn't surprise me that she got that, just like it didn't surprise me when she got the thing on her back, right? These things can happen as a result of just like constant friction, not necessarily hygiene, which it can happen because of hygiene, but it can also just happen because of friction. Like, for example, I've had someone in my life who ended up getting one in their armpit, and according to the doctor, it was just because it was an area where she was like exercising every single day, and there was a lot of friction there all of the time, right? And because of that, a hair follicle got infected. It could just be something as simple as that for her. But when you've got that much extra skin, the chances of something like this happening increase like tenfold. And don't quote me on this because my memory could be fading here, but I think I read somewhere that when you become morbidly obese, one of the causes of death can become like skin infections that just spread like wildfire.
So, yeah, there's no OnlyFans drama. I mean, if you want a refund, just let me know. I'll refund you your money. They're plain and simple. It's done. It's over with, you know.
There is OnlyFans drama, though. Just because you keep saying that there is no OnlyFans drama doesn't actually make it true. There was OnlyFans drama. You promised a month's worth of content, decided to cancel in 3 days, and wouldn't issue a refund at the very beginning. It makes people doubt your intentions. If you had always intended to give a refund to anyone who wanted it, you should never have put that statement out. But by flip-flopping like this, it makes all of your intentions look very disingenuous, right? It makes you look bad. You can own it and say, I put some content out there and I don't think that anyone is entitled to a refund. And if you want, you can take it up with OnlyFans, or you can go ahead and say, whatever, if anyone who wants a refund can get a refund. I did put some content out there, but whatever, I'll just give you your money back if you think you've been chipped. Or give the money back to everybody, which is what I would have done if I decided to not follow through on something like that. I just didn't like the way that she handled it, and I don't think a lot of her fans did either, because that's who supported you. Say she charged, $10 a pop, and she said she made $1,000. That's 100 people. Do you think that there's 100 people who are willing to give you their hard-earned money so that you can, like, eat on camera and whatever? So that they can troll you, so they can get some extra information? No. There's maybe 3 people in there who've done that. Most people are not that interested. Most people are not, like, I wanted to know what was happening on there, but not enough to pay for it, right? I figured, quite correctly, that it would just get leaked. And that's how a lot of the other reactors, I think, were too. They're just like, it's going to get leaked, right? There's no possible way this stays in. So there'll be one person in 100 who's going to go and sign up. But it wasn't like the majority of them weren't trolls. I would say the trolls in there are maybe like 5% trolls. And the other 95% were your audience members, your supporters. And you tried to scam them. So, yeah, there's some OnlyFans drama.
So, what was I saying? Hi, angry cinnamon cereal. Don't you ever die. Sandra, I'm trying not to. No eggs. Those hurt my stomach. Anything at the same time as this, I have to try and heal my C. diff gut and my microbiome gut and everything. So I was told to eat really high fiber, which is all carbs. So, hi, Cherry Chaffles.
Yes, you can. This is not... Well, I'm not going to say that it's not complicated. It is complicated. But the way to get a solution isn't all that complicated, right? Like, it can be difficult for you and I or like somebody on the internet to figure something like this out. But a dietitian can help you figure all of this out. This is literally in their job description. Go see a dietitian, like a legitimate one, not an intuitive eating dietitian, but like a legitimate dietitian who's going to talk to your doctor and help you figure out an eating plan that's going to work for you within the confines of all of your various medical problems. I say this all of the time, but I would not be so upset about her doing intuitive eating if her liver wasn't actively in the process of dying, right? Once she has cirrhosis, there is no fixing that. There's no fixing it. And depending on how much cirrhosis she has, if she gets to the point where she's in like liver failure, she will never get approved for a transplant. She will die. Like, I don't understand why that's not more clear to her.
Grapefruit, yeah. I'm buying a juicer. I'm not going on a juice fast, but I want to have one because I want to make fresh juice in the morning. That like really makes me feel hydrated and just like I just like having a glass of fresh juice. I appreciate that, Margosa. Can't travel anywhere right now with COVID. Like, I find even when you do juice, I don't like filter it out, so I still have some of the pulp. So there's still some of the fiber, and there's a lot of nutrients, like micronutrients that you just get right away.
This is the thing. You can get micronutrients from juices and they can be very hydrating, but that juice was initially inside of a fruit. So if you eat that fruit, you will get the same amount of hydration from that fruit. You'd also get all the micronutrients that that fruit has. You know what else you will get? A lot of bulk. You'll get a lot of bulk. All of that fruit has all of that pulp and fiber, and it will really fill you up. It'll keep you much more satiated than juice will, which will go straight through you. Because if you're drinking juice, what you're really doing is you're feeding the diabetes, okay? That's all you're going to do. You really, really want all of those nutrients. You really want that hydration. Drink some water and eat some fucking fruit. This idea that she has, that just because something is marginally better, that it's good for her, is idiotic. Maple syrup is marginally better for you than pure sugar is. That doesn't make it actually good for you. There is a vast difference between those two things. Okay? You are 100% misinterpreting this.
Fat blocks the sugar to get into the cells, and that's the problem. Yeah, I read that fat, like, apparently, like, high protein, like, apparently raises your blood sugar. That's what I read, too.
Everything can and will, to a certain degree, raise your blood sugar, but carbs will do it by far the worst, right? Fat can raise your blood sugar a little bit, not as much as you would think. The insulin response that you have to fat is very low, but with carbohydrates, with sugars, right, that insulin response is significantly greater. And when you have difficulties with producing insulin, that's not a good thing. You want to keep your blood sugar as steady as possible. So once more, keto is not for everybody, but it could be for you. And I'm not talking dirty keto the way that Jen is doing, eating bacon all the time. I'm talking about doing like actual proper keto with like healthy fats and protein, right? I wish that she would take care of her body even 1/4 the amount, like 1/4 the amount of effort and energy it takes me to produce one of these videos. I swear. Like, I hope that doesn't sound too facetious, but I really, really wish that she would value her life just the littlest bit more. Because right now, the way she's treating it, the way that she acts, it's almost like, who cares if I die, right? I tried, and that's all that matters. And if I die trying, then I suppose that's good enough. And that is so sad. I feel so sad for her. I feel sad for her family. No one should have to lose a loved one like that. And it's just...
I did do a short-term juice cleanse. Now, I can't do that because my liver is like overloaded already. So if I do any kind of fast, it'll just be too much on my liver to like process all the detox. And plus I really need to, I'm going to eat super clean food, which should be the second best thing.
If you have diabetes, please also don't fast, right? You can raise your blood sugar really easily if you're diabetic, but you could also drop your blood sugar very low when you're diabetic. Hence the whole moderation, keep it steady, not wild fluctuations, right? Please don't fast. I mean this for Chantal, but I also mean this for anyone who's watching. Don't fast if you're diabetic. And if you are thinking of fasting, maybe for religious reasons, right? There's certain religions that have fasting as part of their beliefs. Talk to your doctor about it first and see what you can do in the safest possible manner.
Juice will spike. No, I'm not going to have just juice. It's homemade nut milks. So I can put that in my oatmeal. And then it's a juice. It's a green juice. So it has like spinach. I think the only fruit it has is some green apple, lemon, ginger. I like having fresh juice, you know, because it makes me feel more hydrated and stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to have a lot of it. They're only 250 milliliter bottles.
Once more, this is, I think, true basically for anybody, but if you're trying to lose weight, please don't consume liquid calories outside of maybe like soup. And even then, try to eat as much of the food that you are consuming, as many of the calories that you're consuming as possible. The act of chewing has been found to be very satiating, especially with like crunchy textures. It's easier to overeat on softer, mushier textures. And when you're eating foods that have bulk to them, you're getting all of that fiber as well, which can be lacking in liquid calories, and they'll just go right through you and you'll feel hungry again, and it makes it harder to abstain from overeating.
Says, well, it is debatable, Callie, because if you look up fruit sugar, and like there's so many doctors and nutritionists out there that will tell you that fat is the problem with diabetes and not natural sugar. So, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of different sources out there.
This is the thing. The only doctors that matter are the doctors that are treating you. And I'm including every single person who's offering our health advice on the internet, myself included, right? I said before, I don't generally make my videos for Chantal or Amber because I don't think they're going to see anything and get anything out of it. But you should listen to your doctors first and foremost, regardless of what any other doctor, nurse, dietitian, nutritionist, therapist, president is saying. The person whose opinion matters is the person who is intimately familiar with your case, because there could be complexities there that you haven't grasped having not gone to medical school, and you are using impartial information about yourself and you're applying cases to it that don't apply, right? Just listen to your doctors first and foremost and give everything they say that you should do like a good, solid, like college try before you just say, well, they clearly don't know what they're doing.
You know, vegans will tell you that they've cured going on a high carb diet, you know, their diabetes by going on a high carb diet, natural carbs and processed carbs. So the science on that is not debatable. They're very different. You're right.
I am not debating this with you, Chantal. I am educated in this matter and you are not. Okay? Okay. Next.
And I'm going to be talking about what now going forward, how I'm going to address these health issues. And I'm just going to warn you right now, flat out, in the most nicest way possible, because I am trying to be nicer and not a total bitch all the time. I don't need your comments saying, here we go again. I don't need illness shaming, cycle shaming. I don't need your negative comments. I don't care about them. They're not wanted here. So please go elsewhere. Thank you.
Okay. That's fine. I won't talk about it on your channel. I won't tell you any of my comments. I won't come to you and try and offer my opinion. But I'm talking about it now on my own channel, on my own personal channel, where I have my own personal audience members, my own personal friends who come here to listen to my opinion. So I'm going to talk about it on my own channel. And just like you don't want people to come and bring their unsolicited advice and opinions here, I don't care what you have to say. Don't bring your unsolicited advice on what I should and should not talk about onto my channel, okay?
A lot of you don't know what a fupa is, so let's go to Dr. Armchair for a lesson, shall we? Oh, hi there. Dr. Armchair here. So, the fupa, fatty upper pubic area, also known as the mons pubis, is a rounded, fatty tissue lump above the genitals. There you go. I hope you feel a lot more educated.
This little bit that she does with Dr. Armchair is actually really cute. I thought it was quite adorable. It's campy and funny and quirky, and it was genuinely very cute. And I appreciated the effort that she put into it. Beyond that, there's really not much in here that I want to talk about. It's basically her reiterating all the things that we have gathered from previous videos, but also it's her talking about all the ways in which she will be improving her life, her theorizing, essentially, her trying to manifest that energy into her life without putting any actual effort into it. Like, if this video could have a soundtrack, it would be, what's that song that Eminem did? Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are shooting stars? That one. That's literally what this sounds like. This is what she's doing. She's basically just hoping that if she talks about it enough, she can like muster up the energy, and then all of a sudden she will be a skinny legend and it'll be fine. That's all I have to say on that. Next. This video is basically like talking about her hospital like stay and all the struggles that she's experiencing in the hospital while she's stuffing her face with a thing that led her to this point in her life. This bitch, oh my God, why do you make it so difficult for me to show you kindness and empathy, Chantal? Next.
Hey guys, hey guys, hey, how are you? Well, I showed you that clip of that was pizza and poutine I had last night.
She starts this video off, she's like very, very depressed. The whole video is kind of sad. And, you know, it's very, very zoomed into her face. She doesn't have the filters going like she does before, you know, when she likes to brag about how nice her skin is. So she doesn't have any of that going. She's just like got this like wig on and she's looking all downtrodden and obviously playing on our sympathies. And she starts off by saying that she ate a whole pizza and then a whole thing of poutine.
And I woke up and it's really grim to wake up to a reality you don't like being in. Don't get me wrong. I love my place. I love Pete's. I love my cats. I just don't love the health reality I'm in. Like the reality I'm in right now.
Yeah, I get that. She is in a pretty grim place right now, okay? Her health is literally deteriorating by the day. It's like every other week we're getting an update about how she has a new condition. Like her list of diagnoses is so long at this point that it's actually really frightening. So I get that. Her mood is understandable to me, and I would feel so much more empathetic if she wasn't just being a bitch 9 times out of 10.
I did realize something I think that's really important. I don't trust myself at all. Not just that, because I anticipated questions from people I feel like I'm trying to make people understand how I'm thinking. I'm sure people will say, well, whenever you're faced with a decision, an urge to eat something you shouldn't, why not just say no? And I try so hard to understand that it's just beyond willpower at this point. I don't trust myself. I have an illness, but not just that. My illness makes me lie to myself a lot. So, for example, getting takeout last night. Like, I'm completely addicted to eating takeout, and I don't know how to stop it.
Oh, I don't trust myself around food, you guys. You see, I am the victim here too. I'm the victim of my own mind. Woe is me. Feel sad for me. I am hurt too. I am suffering too. Don't you see? Don't you see how it hurts me?
And I know a lot of you have a lot of solutions that are very helpful. I appreciate it. But I have to keep looking for some help. I am no longer seeing the intuitive eating dietitian and therapist. It's nothing personal against them. Intuitive eating, I'm sure, really is, you know, it's the way we want to strive to be, kind of, but normal eaters. But I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself to listen to myself.
Our opinions don't matter in this regard. Once more, broken record here, talk to your doctor. Talk to your team. Assemble the team yourself if you have to. No one is going to care about this as much as you should care about this. That's just the fact of it, right? You have to be your number one advocate when it comes to stuff like this. When I was getting married, this is what my mother told me. My mother said that it does not matter how much help you have, how many people you hire. At the end of the day, no one is going to end up working as much for your wedding as you are. She was talking about me personally, not everyone in general, because I cared about this issue. This is a thing I care about. So that means that I'm going to put all of my time, energy, and effort into manifesting it, right? Not just hoping that it appears. And that's what she needs to be doing. And she's not, right? She doesn't care enough. She'll listen to like a couple of things here and there, misinterpret the information. And at the end of the day, everything she hears, she just twists so that she can still continue to eat and do whatever she wants in the context of food, not realizing that it's coming at a cost. You have help. There is help available in Canada, but you have to advocate for yourself and actually try and get said help. No one's going to come to you, Chantal, and be like, please, oh dear lady Chantal, won't you let us help you? You have to do it. You are the captain of your own ship. God damn it. I sound like my high school guidance counselor and I don't like it.
So it's not a happy video today, guys. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm just being open and honest about how I'm feeling. You know, I'm just trying to let you guys know what I'm going through. And Tam, come here, Tam. And yeah.
This is just something I want to point out really quickly. Did you see what she did there? She was being, what I think at least, is like pretty open and honest, even if it was also a very, very transparent ploy for sympathy, right? She's being open and she's being as honest as she can be with us, and she's trying to tell her feelings, and then they become too much and they overwhelm her. So she cuts away and she looks and she goes, come here, Sam. Come here, boy. And that distracts her just long enough. It gives her just enough of a mental break that she can then continue talking about it. And to a certain degree, it also gives us that kind of mental break, right? Now that we've had a break in the conversation, she can subtly shift the conversation into a new direction, and she doesn't quite have to worry about the fact that, oh, wait, this doesn't make sense in the context of what I was saying before. I don't think she means to do it necessarily, but she's definitely doing that. And that's the kind of behavior that your therapist can help you recognize and then help you break out of.
Because I'm the type of person who likes to solve my own problems, take things into my own hands. I don't know if you'd call it like pride. I don't really have much of that, so I can't be that. But I just think like I just need some help, and I just always feel like I'm back at square one, you know.
There is a very big difference between someone who doesn't like getting help with their problems, someone who's very, very self-reliant, and someone who doesn't like being told what to do. There's a very big difference there, right? I've said before, I'm the type of person who tries to be very laid back. And I am. And a lot of things in my life, I don't really have an opinion on stuff. And I'm very like, go with the flow, sort of, chill. I just go along with what's happening. But when I care about an issue, I'm a very type A personality. I micromanage the shit out of everything. We are going on this trip with our friends. I made a Google Doc and I made a everyday itinerary down to the very hour with information, including like travel times, so that we could know when we're going and where we're going. I made a second tab with all of the food that we need to be taking, including who's taking what we'll be eating on each day, including things like sustainability, how far we are from the closest store, what they have available, what needs to be iced, who's going to be bringing the ice stuff, who's going to be bringing the cool stuff. All of this I did. No one told me to do it. No one asked me to do it. But that's who I am as like a human person, right? That is the kind of person she wants to portray herself to be. That's not who she actually is. Which is not to say that my personality type is great, by the way. It makes it sound like I'm really talking myself up here. But like quite literally, this is a very annoying thing I do. My friends know this too. And it annoys the shit out of them too, because I essentially hijack every trip that we go on. Which is not a kind thing to do to your friends. And I'm trying not to do that. But that's the kind of person that she wants to portray herself to be. That like, she's like, well, I'm very like, I want to solve all my problems on my own. I don't like asking people for help. No, that's not who you are. You don't like being told what to do. There's a big difference between those two things. If I went to my doctor and my doctor said to me, you need to do this for your health, my takeaway from that is I'm going to research the shit out of every aspect of what my doctor just told me. I'm going to make a plan of what I'm supposed to be doing, and then I'm going to implement that plan. And I don't tend to do things like consult with my partner, try and formulate something that's more feasible and reasonable, and talk with other people and see how they can support my goals, right? I'm just like, I'm going to make this happen through sheer willpower and determination. Chantal's reaction, however, is her doctor tells her, do this, and then she goes in her voice, which I'm assuming sounds like Cartman from South Park, don't tell me what to do, you're not my real mom. I can't do the voice. And then she immediately says, fuck this, fuck you, and I'm out, right? That's the way that her brain processes this information. So no, ma'am, those are not the same things. You are not a strong, independent person and obnoxious like me. You are, in fact, a petulant child who has stunted development and refuses to listen to people who obviously know better than you.
Thank you so much for listening to me, having an interest in my journey. Sometimes I mean, that's why I keep doing this. That's why I keep, people say, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you keep filming this stuff if, you're going to get backlash? And because a part of me thinks that it's important to keep doing it because of the backlash, because the backlash means a lot of people don't understand this type of eating disorder, or people are going through it themselves and don't understand it themselves, or are just angry with themselves. I don't know, but to me, it's backlash kind of means that I should keep going, and like, I don't know how to explain it really.
This is her searching for reasons to continue to upload, right? She's like grasping at straws here. Chantal doesn't script her videos, so it's not, I don't think that's what she's doing. But I think that when she talks about it, even in her own brain, it clicks that, oh, all of these things I'm saying mean that I probably shouldn't be uploading. I probably shouldn't be talking about my journey on here because it's triggering and upsetting, and it's probably doing more harm than good. What's the reason? Yeah, I'm educating people. That's why I'm doing it. Because I'm getting negative, backtake on it. That's because of that, right? Because people are saying this to me. So obviously they mustn't understand it. So I got to keep doing this because she wants to keep uploading. Because if she stops uploading, she stops having an income stream, and that she'd have to actually do work for a living, which she doesn't want to do. This is the lowest effort thing that Chantal can do while still making decent money. And that's why I don't think she's going to get better on YouTube. I don't think that she'll ever get better on YouTube because it's monetized all of the negative aspects of her personality. And it brings them out more. It pulls them out of her. And until she gets off this platform, I don't think she'll ever be able to truly address it. Anyway, next. This is a live cleaning video. There was very little actual cleaning involved, though I suppose it was live, so at least half of that is true. Nothing happens in this video. And I mean, like, absolutely nothing. I put it on double speed and I listened to it in the background while I was cooking, and I'm being genuine with you. Like, nothing happened in the entire video. If any of you are curious as to what I was making, if you guys have ever been to Trader Joe's, they have some really great stir fry ones. I got, it's like a vegetable stir fry, but with like a pesto and then noodles. It was actually really tasty. I left the noodles off because partner is not a big noodle person, and instead I made rice to go on the side of it. And so like I had half a cup of rice and he had like a cup of rice or something like that. But it was really, really tasty. And then I just did like some air fried tofu with it. In case you're interested, the Trader Joe's bagged salads and their stir fry kits are fantastic. That was it. Then you missed nothing. Don't watch this video. Everybody skip this video. Next. Okay. Torrid Hall. I'm actually excited. I tend to like Torrid Halls for Chantal a lot. I've said she's got a difficult body shape, and I like seeing the clothes on her because it gives other people who are similar to her in body shape like a realistic idea of what those clothes would look like on them, so they don't have to necessarily go out and potentially waste their own money. So I like that. I like these videos. I'm not gonna talk about each individual outfit as she's taking things out. I'm just gonna tell you what I think while she has them on. I think it's easier that way. All right. Here it is. These pants slid on better than I thought they would. The 4X. This is the detail of them. This is the shirt. Good to work out in. Do the twist. I really like this outfit. Normally, I'm not a big fan of like giant floral prints. You guys know this. But this floral print actually looks really good. The length of the shirt is nice, and the dark shirt with the dark pants means that it sort of blends in a little bit, so you can't tell that her shirt isn't going all the way to the bottom of her like stomach where it hangs over. The pants themselves are not very shiny, and so they're not attracting like light to any of the contours of her skin. I really like this outfit. I think she looks really lovely in it. I want her to buy more shapes like this. I think it looks great. By the way, I'm having technical issues with my ring light, so that's why the light is not ideal. I'm sorry about that. All right, so this is the shirt with the fox. I'm still gonna wear these black pants just because this will go good with black pants. Isn't it cute? A shirt with the fox is nice. It's a cute shirt. There's really not much to it. It's like a basic kind of graphic tee. What I will say is that it's doing like something weird around her stomach, and I'm not entirely sure why. It makes it look like she has a muffin top. Now, for all that Chantal has a significant amount of weight on her, that's not the way that her weight manifests, because she has fairly narrow hips and a pretty like large waist comparatively, but her stomach is very round, right? It's got a circumference to it. If you look at her from the side, she almost kind of looks pregnant a little bit sometimes. And so when she's wearing something like this and it sort of gives her that like one sort of belt, it makes me think that maybe her pants are a little too tight. I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe it's the pants, but it could just be that the way that the shirt is sitting on her. I think it's a size too small too. I think she should get one size bigger, and it'd be a little bit more flowy and a little bit more complimentary on her. All right, what I'm trying on together doesn't match, but I can't find my black sports bra. So just try to imagine these things as two separate pieces, if you can. So this is the 5X sports bra. I'm apple shaped, so this is what it's gonna look like on an apple shaped person. It tries to roll up on my tummy, but these are the skull pants to work out in. They have a lot of room. Yep, they're very easy to move in, as you would expect with active gear. And very comfortable.
You know, not heavy, very comfortable clothing. Oh yeah, I like the feel of this. And then you have the back detail, the crisscrossing detail.
Oh, this entire outfit is not my jam. The bra thing that she's wearing, the workout top that she's wearing, that's gonna roll up. The pants are gonna roll down. Everything is like 2 sizes too tight. It needs to be a little bit looser. Now, for the top in particular, I think it could be a little bit more difficult for Chantal because for all that she is a heavier lady, she doesn't carry a lot of her weight in her boobs and like her upper, like right here. It's more in her midsection that she carries her weight. So maybe if she got something that was a little smaller, it might fit a little bit better up top, but then it will roll up, and if you get something bigger, then it won't really fit up here. So I'm not really sure how that works, but this doesn't really look all that comfortable. But I mean, I don't know. This is weird to me. I like working out in like t-shirts that are like 5 times too big for me, so they're almost like a giant dress, and like tights, right? Like leggings. That's what I like to work out in because I want like a range of motion. I want to be comfortable. Also, I don't like clothes sticking to me when I'm sweaty and hot. It just makes me so uncomfortable.
All right, this one is a bit tighter because it's a 4X, the top, so I have to keep pulling it down. So yes, nice material, love the color. Now I'm alone here, so I can't tell if the back looks okay. So that's what it looks like. Now, the back straps were confusing, so I'm not sure if this is the pants. Good to work out in. Very skin tight, but that's all right.
That floral outfit just looks terrible. I hate that print so much, and it's ill-fitting. I hate literally everything about it. I don't think it's a good outfit. I think it's non-functional. I think it looks awful on her, and I think it's just awful in general. Anyway, next.
Looks good. Very thick crust. I probably should have thinned it out a bit more.
Apparently, yeah.
I think it's... You think it's cooked in the center?
I am...
Let's try this.
I am trash. And, just give me trash.
Have you ever had the decadent chocolate chips? They're the best.
This is her, I think, this is her live pizza party video. And I think Chantal follows the logic of, if I made something, then I am their god, and therefore the calories don't count. Because she's eating an entire, like, pizza, right? But she doesn't eat the whole pizza. She shares it with Pete's. But still, she's eating pizza, right? And it's got a crust, you know? And mostly what pizza is like bread with like a little bit of sauce and a little bit of cheese on it. If you're looking at it proportionally, it's mostly just carbs with very little protein and fat to it. And this is literally like the worst thing that she could be eating for diabetes. It's just straight white bread, because I'm pretty sure that crust is not even made of whole wheat.
No more HelloFresh. Maybe I have an account, but you can skip weeks, right? So if I see a week where I really want to try something, I'll just get it. But
I've been making...
No more HelloFresh. Why am I not shocked that she's not getting HelloFresh? I told you guys before, I 100% think that she got the HelloFresh, but actually didn't eat any of the HelloFresh. I think that Pete's ate all of the HelloFresh meals, and she would just make those for him. It was less work for her, and she would still continue to eat out whatever she wanted. That's why she's not interested in getting the HelloFresh, because she didn't actually use it for herself. She didn't get the utility out of it that she should have. I think it's a shame. I think that HelloFresh can be a great thing for her. Honestly, I think that if she can go the Amber Lynn route and get Freshly, I think that would be even more fantastic. But if not, then at least do this.
For somebody dealing with what I'm dealing with food, it just doesn't work. It doesn't. So I have to
I'm having a Kit Kat.
wean down,
dessert.
like, no takeout? Is
Product
my,
placement.
yeah, no takeout is my first goal.
No.
Cooking everything.
Hopeful product placement. We
I mean-
need to get paid for it to be product placement, so pay us.
Yeah. There's going to be times when I eat out, like, you know, socially or whatever, but not every day. Like, I would eat out maybe 2-3 times a day sometimes.
This is not necessarily a bad goal for her, but she's already giving herself a mental out, right? You guys heard it, right? Like, you know, she does this a lot where she will say something that in theory is great, but then because she doesn't want the backlash of when she knows she'll fail and she's already planning the failing part in her head, she'll like try and walk it back a little bit. So she'll start with, you know, I don't know if mukbangs are a great idea. You know, maybe I could just do eat with me's instead. You know, I'll just do like healthy stuff and, you know, with takeout once every month. And, you know, but slip ups happen. Everyone knows slip ups happen. You know, I have an ED, and so it's really hard for me to abstain from all of these things. And so sometimes, yeah, you know, when my mental health is doing poorly, I do end up eating 3 meals from McDonald's. And that's the slippery slope for her. And she's doing it literally right now. And she hasn't even really made any solid effort. So it's just like, all right, cool.
Chocolate eater.
No.
For the most part.
And
so.
there was nothing wrong with what I ate today. Like,
Well, no, like I saw somebody saying that.
There's a lot wrong with how you ate today. So I'm not even going to get into that. But I want you to check your diabetes and tell me, like your blood sugar, and tell me what the reading there is.
just a little bit.
The kind that's honestly way too good for my palate. Like, I genuinely don't enjoy real maple syrup. It's too
love it.
rich for my palate.
Okay, controversial opinion here, but I don't particularly like maple syrup either. I've had it in some contexts. I've had that like a little bit of, I think, like maple candy. I've had it on like donut and glazes sometimes, but I'm just not a very big sugar person. I just don't like sweet foods. Not to say I don't like carbs, because your girl can do some real damage to a loaf of bread. Just not carbs. No, I'm sorry, just not sugar. Not a big fan of sweet things, so makes sense to me why I wouldn't like maple syrup. Anyway, that's all I have to say for this video. I'm gonna try and film the second one maybe tomorrow. It might be a couple videos short, and then, you know, we'll do another 2-parter when I get back from my trip. Thank you guys so much for being patient with me, and thank you so much for watching me. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you hated this video, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs down. That's totally okay. I respect everybody's opinions here. I've got all my social medias linked down below. I've got Instagram, where I've got food stuff and life stuff. And since I'm going on a trip, there's more life stuff coming soon. I've got Twitter, where I'm a little bit toxic and a little bit petty. But hey, fun fact, it is where you can reach me the easiest. If you ever want me to see something or want me to talk about something, just tag me in it. I'm also kind of entertaining there occasionally. And fun fact, I also have all of my opinions on everything there. So if you ever think that, you know, hey, what's her opinion on this? It's probably on my Twitter. And I've got Patreon. Think of Patreon as the tip jar for the internet. So if you like the job that I'm doing here and you would like me to continue, hey, consider tossing a few coins in my direction. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But if you did, I'd really appreciate it. As always, I'm Jasmine, the sequel, and I am not relatable. Peace.